we are just around the corner from getting into this final map, and it is going to be momentum-based versus Gravitas.
Yeah, it should be a tight one. On paper, you'd expect Gravitas to just pull it out with the experience of Noz, Clutchy, Cloxy. They've got some huge players on that roster. Spikes, Nerox. That's the full roster for Gravitas. All of them are big names in themselves, but momentum based have been shown to be no mugs. They're quite. I don't know how you put it. You're quite wily. They've managed to pull out some pretty big scalps themselves and progress through. They're actually higher in ELO than Gravitas is, so it could be a deceptively long game.
Yeah, it's one of those things where you would say, and I don't use this word often, but it's like kind of the underdogs where they've been a little bit of
Mm,
the dark horse. A couple of people might not be very familiar with who they are, but they've kind of taken a couple of people, by surprise. It's like, oh, I'm not really like I'm not sure who these people are, but hey,
hello
they're
there.
they're besting out some good names and everything. So let's follow along their journey, and that's one of the things that we always love to be seeing. Following along the team's journey and building a story behind them. But speaking of. That timer hit 0. We are ready to get into map number 1 in this best of 3. It's the set.
Yeah, and it looks like a fast play out of momentum base. They're aggressing right onto the speed side. Only one home for the side of Gravitas, but side control will be in for momentum base. The Nerox gets the first onto Marsh, but doesn't trade it out evenly. And it is going to be Cloxy coming through on the jet before the spike's even down. The action picked off, and the spike doesn't even get down. It's Gravitas on the retake, fast and heavy as Cloxy gets another one. It's all over. That was the quickest pistol we've seen.
Furious. Gravitas just already ready for it. Nerox doing the best work to find 2, but only able to find 1. It's Spikes to kind of come on through on Cypher and just blindside them. Able to pick up some nice kills, and Gravitas, they do steal away the pistol. And no plant for momentum based as well.
No.
Does mean that they're not really going to be, provided extra funds to get in a couple of their abilities into this new round that were used in the previous one, because I saw a lot of flashes to come through from the breach to really turn in towards the site. Jet, of course, the signature ability on the dash, will have that again for Travis. But yeah, a fast pistol for momentum base. It looked really good, but Gravitas, they were just very composed.
I was surprised that Gravitas flew in on that retake as well. Didn't even let the spike get planted. So great start for Gravitas. And oh, Clutchy could be activated here early. Gets the firing squad treatment though. Pumpy with the headshot will claim the Spectre for his troubles. Cloxy in a very sneaky position. Might not expect the second player. Could get checked though. Oh, doesn't look like they have been checked. All the information that we'll see the first player.
Use it as
rotating on.
info. Foxy just needs to use it as info right now. No one's picking the position, but there's so many shots missed. At least you are on a jet, so you can dash away with that 18 HP. No one's going to be able to assist your HP mark. That's a brilliant reveal coming up. The knock dart is just picking away at the damage. How many of these players are knocked? Oh, sorry, Nerox and Noz are mixing them up right now. They're able to find a couple of quick kills. Marsh is good for 1, but the spike hasn't even been planted. It's dropped at lane. Marsh will manage to finish off a Cloxy in the end. 2 versus 2. This is kind of workable and doable for momentum base. You look how low Spikes is on 12 right now.
30 seconds left.
6 balls. Go for a reload. The right click from Marsh will get the job done. And it's all in a Noz. Split difference in the positioning. And momentum base, they do in fact win the full Eco Thrifty.
That is a classic Thrifty, and you don't see that every day. Not able to save too many Spectres up on into it, but I'm lost for words. A classic Thrifty? I haven't seen that in so long. It was great aggression and great movement by momentum base though to find out those isolated jewels. You saw the firing squad onto Clutchy straight up. Such a painful way to lose your life.
100%. Cover going out. Pistols for Gravitas. Caught off guard. I mean, it is the early stages of this game, so still got to, I guess, wake themselves up. They've been afforded, I guess you could say, the later game in the day, so they have time during the day to practice up, to warm up, and just make sure everything is ready for them going into this game. Because when you look at it, it is an elimination match. Loser of this does concede themselves in this tournament.
Yeah, it certainly is the pressure cooker. The pressure's on. Marsh lurking around in mid. Did manage to find one of the Spectres and 3k on the Classic as well. So big impact from Marsh early on. All slow. So it's definitely different from our previous series where there's a bit more slow, methodical clearing from momentum based. And they will find their way onto A. Clutchy in a position you don't envy really. has the shorty running through mid. Might be able to find one player lacking if timing permits, but it looks like it's just going to be the plan on A, and Gravitas will try and get any sort of exits they can. They do need to die though. They will need to get the full amount of credits into next round if they do want to buy. So you'd expect them to clean up some eco frags on momentum based here.
I wonder if they're going to be expecting the flank to come through from mid right now on the breach, just looking to, I guess, funnel in and contain them through, down in through the hell. Does get seen, tickles in those toes. Not really. Just trying to do a little bit of the work, however. Halfway to get landed on through. Noz to finish it off. It's all down to Noz, 5 HP. Maybe just consider to save this gun over into that next round. It's, you know, more than the could be right now for yourself, but if you manage to get your body taken on out. The Pumpy fighting for 3 on the board. They won't fall to the spike as well. So it's going to be a lead found by momentum base, but that's some great damage being found by Gravitas.
Yeah, probably more than you'd expect if you're a Gravitas member to find. I think they've got 3 there, so good eco damage. And now things will start to even up and we'll see the rifles. We'll see the full buys come out. And the strategies, the set plays, if they are there. It's the first time we've seen a mirror matchup on the agents, though. So both teams have the same utility, the same potential. Always like to see that. Will really be who's better on the day.
Revealing area.
No, it's just a recon. Anything, and the Rolling Thunder will come through, and this is going to displace the B players. And all of a sudden, the B takes on the books. Barboy opens it up, and it's going to have to be the 4v5 retake with an operator inside of Gravitas.
Yeah, it's not looking too favorable for Gravitas right now, though. The players going all into the site. A neural theft available as well for the side of momentum base. Maybe they use it if they get another pick right now. Of course, it is early stages. They should be provided again later on in this half. Clutchy's going to find Travis, though, to open things up. Clutchy just looking to lurk about. Burst could go over towards main, top of the area. Clutchy gets another one. They do lose spikes. They now lose Clutchy, so things are looking a little bit more difficult. The recon, the bolt does reveal. Clutchy getting penetrated through those walls as well. Needs to get onto the spike, and they need to do it quickly. Operator from the operator onto the Phantom. However, Crazy Marsh, they will lock it down, and it's going to be a well-placed rifle round from a momentum based.
Yeah, perfect execution. Really, just investing the Rolling Thunder in there, and just secure yourself around. Good stuff from momentum based. Gravitas will not be able to buy into this one. They'll save up, and it hasn't been a lot of aggression from Gravitas on the defense. They've been very happy to try and receive and match, and the offensive duels come through. It's just been good trading from momentum based. If they haven't got the first pick, then they've always obviously traded very well, very favorably. So good start from momentum based. I'll be happy with that.
Yeah, it'll just come down to what can Gravitas throw at them in the big old rifle rounds. We're going to stack over towards A. I do like the slow pace to come through from momentum based right now, just to make sure that they aren't getting tripped up by anything that Gravitas could throw at them. So just slow and steady. If they find somebody, find some information, then they will act accordingly.
Take flight.
Now drone is going to go out through mid to gather all this information. It's going to be seeing that no one's home, so the pistols of Gravitas, eventually, they will maneuver on over to the B site, because that's where things are looking to line up for momentum-based.
Key player in this round, Nerox, has the Hunter's Fury, 2 shock darts, so all the utility that they could want to slow down this push if it does come through. Do get the information from Pumpy peeking out wide. Dark cover as well will cover off the defender's spawn. This is going to allow some easy entry to come through. So IPK just dropped. It looks like it looks like we're going to get another
30
plant
seconds left.
a drop of blood beans.
And you know that Gravitas are going to have to throw all their bodies into the ring right now.
Spike planted.
Nerox, Pumpy, good for one from opposing sides, but these pistols, what are they going to be able to do? Clutchy does jump over the trap wire as well, so a bit of a missed throw to be seen from momentum previously. Clutchy, though, seen by the camera and was direct attention away from momentum base, but it's 2 versus 2. There's a way back in. The Rolling Thunder always going to trip up both of the momentum base players. We could even see a Thrifty becoming in forward right now from the shadows. Is going to be denied, and in the back of the boat, H just down to Pumpy, but that gets denied as well. Really well played out from Gravitas, and the announcer is going to say Thrifty.
Thrifty.
There it is, the Thrifty, as you called. To clean up the round of beautiful Rolling Thunder. Right place, right time for Noz to stay alive deep into the round and get to utilize that Rolling Thunder. But they managed to find the momentum-based players in such forward positions that they could reclaim the rifle. Spikes managed to reclaim a rifle and get a frag, and then all of a sudden that means Cloxy and Noz have access to a rifle as well. So unfortunate that Momentum Base didn't quite get the post-plant positioning that they would have wanted, but that was due to Nerox being pushed far enough up that the players couldn't escape the site once they got the plant done. So fantastic positioning there from Gravitas to keep Momentum Base in the site and really punish them when they got their hands on the rifles.
Yeah, but now are they going to be able to do some more punishment to try and tie things up 3-3 as Momentum Base is stretching very quickly over into this A site. Travis has managed to figure out under towards the hell as well. Eventually able to start coming to fatal through, and maybe they have a little bit more positioning to play with. Though the defenders in Gravitas have found a couple of good kills. They got 4 ultimates to play with as well. So Momentum Base, they really need to find a kill, I think, before even going for the defuse. But she's got to reposition. The Hunter's Fury comes out as well. It's going over towards the default location. It's actually in the floor. Nerox is missing out exactly where to shoot it through as no damage is delivered. Time is still, really there for Momentum Base to try and find. It's now done. The objective now needs to be held off.
It's like the strategy from Gravitas to take they push on together, trading each other out. Need it spicy. Travis does get taken by Farboy, but he's traded out easy peasy. It looks like last player is stuck in main. The Hunter's Fury is there if they do choose to use, but it looks like in a 4v1 situation, Crazed is going to put that one in the back pocket for now. That's Gravitas stringing 2 rounds together, and it's not a bad effort on the defense. They'll keep 4 alive. That's plenty of money into the next.
Nah, not a bad effort at all. 2 of them taken down extremely low, but they do work around that and just make sure they're taking the more passive approach to go in for that retake, going in for a little bit of those wall bangs, just looking to hide on through. So really well placed out. He's going to be onto the purchase up for Momentum Base. They have a little bit of credits to spare. I suppose Travis maybe has dropped a weapon over him this round because the Blade Storm is available, so that's going to be used, but Cloxy's got an operator out. That's going to be really interesting. It's going to be poised over towards this A position nice and early, with all the util coming on down. Cloxy has to be very careful. The shock dart even finds Cloxy.
No more charges left.
Yeah, good work from Cloxy to get out of there and know that their time is up. The spray from Spikes doesn't quite land the way they would have wanted, but doesn't get punished on the over-aggression. It's just a big spread, as you see on the map. There isn't looking to be any sort of wild rush or wild aggression so far. Looks like the round will slow down as both teams try and reclaim some area. It looks like Gravitas again are very confident on this passive defense and back themselves in to hold those angles and go for those big multis, because if you're not flanking around and getting all that information on the defenders, it can be quite difficult. As one player goes down and all of a sudden the site was playing one. It's like it's going to just claim that one try. It looks like where things are going to end up. Foxy's taken out Crazed the spy carrier though.
That's the Blade Storm already down for Momentum Base as well. 30 seconds to go to make sure they can get that plant down. It's currently still over at that A site, but it looks like they just want to disconnect and retreat from it. However, as Farboy finds the kill, maybe
30 seconds left
on the back. Marsh needs to get the plant on down. The Shroud Step will relocate to do so. But 4 versus 2, Rolling Thunder available for Farboy. Where do you use it? Towards the heavens or towards the shorts? Build the util starting to come down. Both of them do get blinded out. That should actually hit Marsh as well. You see it into the air. Noz and Spikes. They managed to find the kills in the end, and well, a bit of a waste of a Rolling Thunder, all things considered, for Momentum Bases. It doesn't do anything in the end, and now Gravitas surviving with 4. They will take the lead.
Yep, good start from Gravitas now. This is kind of what you expect on Ascent. Now the defenders start to string a few rounds together. I don't think Cloxy knew much about where Farboy was positioned there. You don't often expect the breach to be the one on the site, just kind of hanging out. Of course, wasn't aware and got taken out, so the operator did get saved up though, so back on the operator for Cloxy. Good even start, good even spread across the side of Gravitas too. You know, all getting eliminations, all getting their ultimate charge right up. Noz is almost up to his second Rolling Thunder of the half. Let's see what they can do with that. Hold the peak out. Foxy doesn't quite manage to pull the trigger fast enough. A very fancy operator skin.
The dragon.
Yeah, but it's the good colorway dragon.
The good color, you reckon?
I like this colorway better. And the fire-breathing, stereotypical dragon. I mean, this one's got a bit more flair to it, a bit more pizzazz.
I use the darker one.
I can definitely understand the appeal of the darker one, because it's more of a classical dragon look.
I think though, one of the big things is the dragon is a bit bigger model than a lot of the other Vandals, so you lose a lot of the vision as well. It's sometimes see people just not use it even if they have it. it is what it is. It's all about the, the looks, I guess. Skins equals wins, maybe. But we're starting to break in through this beast site. Gravitas. Three. Foxy's good for one. Oh, that's all we're gonna see from Farboy. Just the one.
That's such it's a strange way for a round to play out. The market rush defense, and for both defenders to get pinned down in the site and get committed to those fights. But Nerox manages to find a way to claim 3 in that round. I believe it was like a half buy, half save from the side of Momentum base. They won't be too sad about the result. Unfortunately, they couldn't take away more from the side of Gravitas, but them's the breaks.
Indeed, we're starting to shape up for a quick B attempt. It would look towards right now. Are we going to see it all be contained, however, by the single lone soldier over on the Gravitas side? And unfortunately, we've already seen the recon bolt tag through the stairs. It almost is the pistol round yet again. Clutchy finding a 1, but it's being returned by 2 players of Momentum base. The spike looks to go down now, and there's no impactful utility to go in towards this site from Gravitas. No rolling thunder. Neural theft will only be good if they find a kill. So it is definitely going to be hard pressed for Gravitas to get back into it. Don't count them out just yet.
Noz was definitely the power player in this round. His spike's probably going to fall to the Hunter's Fury again. Noz actually gets the first. That's what I was going to say. Now the Rolling Thunder is activated. He cleared out the player in dark, so all 3 players are remaining on side again. Here's a bit of deja vu for you. Oh, Cloxy does check the corner to find 1, but won't know the second's there. He goes into the White House, picks up the second, the third gone down as well. Noz turns it on a dime. Fantastic play, fantastic patience, knowing again that Noz was the key player in that round, keeping them alive and getting the Rolling Thunder going. Gravitas, very confident on these B retakes.
Yeah, don't count them out, as I said. They can get it done. A bit of a repeat like the pistol, but it's a bit of a repeat like the previous round that we did see when they had the Rolling Thunder. Noz, it was like 2 rounds ago that we saw the Rolling Thunder, and it's just back again. That's how quickly you can cycle those ultimates if you're getting the kills, if you're dying, if you're getting the orbs as well. They can be coming quicker than you think.
Yeah, they've been prioritizing letting Noz get the defuse as well, and with only 3 deaths to their name, they've got a lot of diffusers, so prioritizing getting the Rolling Thunder as active as possible to complete these big retakes, because you've seen now in twice just how potent the Rolling Thunder can be. It covers pretty much the whole site, so if you can clear out that dark area, the B main area, then pretty much on for that retake. If you have those agents ready, the bodies ready to go in and clean up.
See, the Cloxy's been seen so far as well, so we'll get forced off the line with that operator. Starting to get a little bit of damage tickled on through, but nothing too detrimental. We'll just look to play a more passive line, momentum-based, looking at the feelers in this round to just see what they're going to be able to deliver in terms of damage. So, wait and see. Purchased up for a reason. Are they going to be able to convert it into a win? Still stretching out in through towards mid, looking like a bit of a slant over towards the A site.
Yeah, no Rolling Thunder for Momentum based. So their ultimates are very reactionary compared to aggressive. Spikes is in a decent position, finds the timing of the player blind. Travis goes down, and the second might have been spotted there. So all of a sudden this round's opened up, but Pumpy is going to claim Cloxy in mid, and this is going to again open things up once more. And the A side, the defenders are committed onto that, but it looks like the offense, momentum-based attackers, goes to the pull out.
Yeah, well, the redeployment from the shadows over onto the B side to get that plant is going to be in for the retake again. The Hunter's Fury is going to be a little bit delayed, and Marsh getting that plant down. So whilst the Hunter's Fury does tickle Marsh down to the 70 HP, still able to pull it around and find a kill. It tips into the favor of Momentum base. It's all going to be onto Noz. Does not have that Rolling Thunder to assist. The flashpoint's going to be brought on through. It's going to be blinding out one. Missing shots. Oh my dear. That's not what you want to see, but you do at least find the kill on the pathway. In the end, the algorithm will find your location, and eventually you might look to just lose out your life. The aftershock does get dodged in through towards B main, but Noz is just locked in right now.
It's full armor, so he might look to save, but get that shot through the wall if there we go. The flash goes through. Might save the operator, in fact, so probably a decent result for Noz. Gets 2 eliminations onto the momentum-based players because it hurt the economy, saved the operator. Not a bad result for a round loss, but at the same time, momentum-based getting themselves up to 4. If they can even up half at 6-6, you'd say that the offense wouldn't mind that.
That'd be a job well done in my mind right now. Momentum base, they do have the Rolling Thunder to work with. Maybe they give a little bit of a fake ploy over towards the A site if that gets used nice and early with a couple of flashes, but really at this level of play, Gravitas, they might be expecting that if they only count out the breach utility. So it's looking to be some aggression over towards A from momentum base. Whether or not it's going to be the same sort of execution we've seen from them time and time again with their delayed play, then they put out the flashes, the smokes, their recon bolt as well. The camera is going to reveal Foxy right now as the stun does get the better of Foxy. Everybody's overlooking now. It's got the one, only good for one. So unfortunate. The Rolling Thunder's down. Cloxy is very vulnerable, but the operator will be allowed to fall on back. But that single-handed kill pretty much has stopped momentum base. The flank's now available too.
Yeah, the pinch is coming. You can see Spikes. Timing just survives. Unbeknownst to him, he was in a lot of danger. There's an opportunity for momentum base. They've kind of bought enough time now that they could have sold the fake towards A, and yeah, Gravitas have fallen for it, and that B site's going to be awful vulnerable. I believe it is just Noz there holding the line. Now more ground being taken out by the side of Gravitas, and they might have waited a little too long now, momentum based. So
Maybe.
And to spread out everywhere.
Yeah, and you've got Breach lurking around.
30 seconds left.
Fault line goes on down. Here comes a reverse fault line from Farboy. It's going to be down to Noz to try to find a single pick, I guess you could say. Clutchy's coming in for a little bit of a delayed playing, so maybe they do just concede the spike. Maybe let it go down, give those credits over towards momentum base, but go in hungrily on the retake. They'll have a advantage of the 2 players
10
to
seconds
do so
left.
with. Both of these members from momentum base are on the site.
Spike
Clutchy's
planted.
been heard, but shots are being missed right now. Clutchy will lose life through the counterpart Omen. Maybe he's going to take it down by momentum base.
One
It would
enemy
be workable,
remaining.
but it's all going to be on a Marsh. 34 HP, and Spikes has the line. So Gravitas has to get the defuse, and this is going to be the 7th round that they will find.
Fantastic work from Gravitas not to get overbaited, I guess, so is a way to put it, as well as not to push too aggressively. It could have been very
Last
tempting to
round
hold
in the
them
half.
into that B dark area. And then all of a sudden, if you give up one Angel and then a second, it'd swing the round. So decent patience from Gravitas, but at the same time, you got to feel like momentum base might have missed an opportunity on the timing there.
Who's there?
So unfortunate when that happens. Of course, the players don't know. It's just the way these games work. It's not a hot buy to go into the last round with, Leon.
Exactly, you've got a Stinger for Travis, couple of Spectres, your Vandal, your Phantom, so relying upon something different from momentum base, maybe not an all-out assault very quickly. You're going to be inching forward to figure things out. One player to get the ulti orb, and it's going to be provided on the jet, which I think the Blaze Squad is coming through, but it is going to be the 8 Rolling Thunder already as well. Just to dodge it and get a quick kill on towards Clutchy and an upgrade. Well, getting out help. Went on to Nod. Nod still kicking, 30 HP. Utility to buy time for the team to come through, and now it's all going to be down to Marsh. And this is quietly contained on the site by Gravitas. 3 alive, and half here is going to be
Switching
8-4 in their favor.
Fantastic half from Gravitas, though. More than happy to take that if you offered it to him at the start of the game. Noz has been playing very passively, really trying to play deep into the rounds. You can definitely tell it's a style that he's comfortable with. Only the 3 deaths on the half. Playing for that KD stat, I reckon.
Eco frags.
Yeah. Definitely knows how to get that VLR rating up. Pumpy though, the standout on the side of momentum based. You don't often say that for an offensive cipher, but there we go.
Stomp him.
Here we go into the next pistol round. Is it going to be claimed by Gravitas to make it 2 of 2, or is it going to be 1-2-1? I think my mind is going to be onto the second round. Is that going to get by the opposing side? And as you say, very fast by Cloxy on the Frenzy. Going to find 1 kill and maybe catch a second out, though. The lag, the trailing of the bullets cannot not work out. Spike hasn't even been brought over towards the B side, though. Here, smashes over on A.
Spike
Yeah, a little bit of a
planted.
fake soul. That almost looked like a set play, but they knew that player was going to be there. It was that fast,
Yeah.
that confident. So maybe Gravitas have been doing their homework on momentum based. Travis with the ghost on the retake. It's going to be a rough one, really. As in enough time to pass the Gravitas have managed to find themselves in any position they really want them. One player on the side. No matter find it's a really slow round. Marsh actually finds Clutchy on the side, so that's the site player done. There's 1 on short, 2 on long. Let's see how it works out. Nos doesn't manage to find the first, and this is already swinging in the side of Momentum. Pablo Diffuser, it's Travis coming alive in a 1v1 situation. Spikes might have just bought enough time. I think they have.
I think he's got it. Yep, he's got it and he knows it as well. Looking for a potential pistol, but everybody's going to lose their lives in this round. A costly one. The Gravitas, but it's going to take they manage to find the round. I think it's the shock dart that came in clutch there. Onto the
I think it was.
Yeah.
Very, very good from Momentum Base though to try and swing that around and get into that position where it was maybe winnable. So definitely seen some. It feels like a lot closer of a game than 9-4 scoreline shows.
No, I definitely agree with you with the amount of rounds that we've, you know, seen go down to the wire in the time department and all of the retakes that we've seen as well. You know, the sense of a plant and an explosion or a defuse just makes it feel a lot closer. And the heat of the moment, you know, the chaotic plays definitely contribute to that. So that's why when sometimes, you know, you look up the scores after a match and you see, oh, okay, it was, you know, for instance, 13-4.
Right there.
If you've watched it, you'll feel it's a lot closer and the players will know that as well. So that's why you can't always just take those scorelines for what they are.
That's right. Almost need a recap or highlights that show these matches. Just how close they really are, because as you said, you look at that scoreline on the web and you're like, oh, 13-4, this was a bit of a stop, and then obviously we know the difference. Nerox will be working their way forward now. Gravitas playing slow, trying to find any stack. That's only the way things go on these anti-ecos.
Revealing area. I have the
A little bit of misfortune on the timing there for Marsh, to be honest with you. A couple of right clicks out, doesn't get the job done on to Nerox, but that door will get closed to the end.
Oh, Bumpy.
That from Bumpy, leading out the charge.
30 seconds left.
That he said earlier on, 3 versus 3. It's only pistols for them. Spikes will find Travis. Farboy to come from heaven eventually. Will have the player on the teammate side to go with this 12 offing through a 1-on-1 trade. This is great damage to come through from Momentum Base. Now it's Craze's turn to do the exact same thing. The Spectre's being pulled up, expecting Clutchy to be behind the smoke. Clutchy will find the clothesline in the end. That's double digits for Gravitas, but kind of costly, all things considered, in that second round.
Yeah, so it certainly wasn't the cleanest round I've seen. Farboy might have seen Clutchy up on the high boxes there when they threw the flash out.
This goes here.
Went hell for leather onto the side to try and pick off the planter. Did in the end. Classic right click. It's so dirty. It feels so dirty when you see a player hop around like that and then all of a sudden the health bar disappears.
100%. Now, speaking about disappears, the guns are kind of disappeared from Gravitas' side. There's a couple of them. You can see a bit of an ego ghost through as well, but in towards the side, it's Cloxy to find Craze just straight on in toward the side. They can try and get the plant down and go for a little bit of a hold. It's very reminiscent of what Momentum Base did a couple of times on their offensive side. So if Gravitas can hold it, and if Momentum Base's retake is a bit weak.
There's definitely a read onto this player holding market. Gravitas have definitely done their homework, but they've got the site. Travis and the side of Momentum Base have the superior weaponry at the moment, but haven't really been able to put it to use just yet. And then post-plant position is perfect from Gravitas, and Clutch is going to make full work of it, taking out Marsh's counterpart first up. Now, Travis forced into an awkward position. Nerox holding the grenade, gets the second, the third from Nerox. A clean round and a much needed one for Gravitas as they're looking to secure this map point almost.
Did nobody see the bolt come out from Nerox in B main? It landed on top of the lamppost vertically. That has to be like a set lineup or something if you're in B main to like reveal everything. It just landed perfectly and kind of like blended in almost. I mean, it does light up if you're on that opposing side to see it. But yeah, I guess Momentum Base was just very focused on trying to find all the kills in toward the retake. That's it is. Very well congratulated over the side of Gravitas to find that round, because it kind of does mean that in this weakened state of Momentum Base, if they drop this, they won't have the best utility and weaponry into that next round.
No, it could be that 13-4 scoreline. Feels like this is make or break for Momentum Base. They've chosen to invest heavily into this round. We'll have to see if it pays DVDs. Nerox searching in through main with the drone. We'll find one player, but we'll now know that that isn't full eco with that Spectre
Mm.
taking out the drone too. So that's valuable information beyond what your eye sees.
Revealing area.
Instant destroy onto the recon bolt. 30 seconds until Craze does have another one. Fault line in. Just going to stick it. No need to overcomplicate things with these Sheriff, with these pistols. Let them come into your vicinity and then see what you can do, as Noz is trying to solidify a bit of a fake, and it has brought over 4 players from the B, from mid over towards A. They're all going to run over onto B now to help Pumpy, and as you say, that is the only rifle right now. Pumpy's been revealed, the smoke is down as well. Actually, we lie. Marsh has a rifle right now.
30
Spikes is
seconds
down.
left.
But it's all on the back of Gravitas, finding out these picks to get across from lane. The spike is dropped. There's a way in which Momentum Base find it. They just can't contain
enemy
that spike
remaining.
going on and down, and unfortunately Farboy loses life. It's on a Marsh. They know where Marsh was before because Marsh already found one kill into the round. The spike picked up. There's another kill. Noz finding
remaining.
Market. It's a 1 versus 1. Oh my lord, we could
Spike
be on for an
planted.
absolute ripper of a round if Marsh finds a quicker headshot. Timing of the essence. The positioning though, Cloxy will narrowly see Marsh. The kill will be found. That's 12 now from Gravitas, and that is
Match
map
point.
number 1 point in this best of 3.
That is a lot of map points to come back from too much. So close. Almost the timing too, Cloxy, with a massive flick it looked like.
Yeah.
Like a full 90-degree turn to hit that shot. And if Marsh had more HP, that gives them more time to line the shot up. So Cloxy does well to secure that round out and close it out. But it's going to be
Let's
a
go.
real rough buy from the side of Momentum Based. And they haven't been able to gather the momentum that they would have liked, really. I don't think they've managed to string together 2 rounds on the side of Cloxy going very fast into Travis. Bulldog in attack, and then just to find a frag with the dog. So always saluting that.
Now the Blade Storm is going to be brought out as well. But look at Clutchy
no.
already up into the heavens. I think it was heard by Craze. Noz is trying to find something. Craze is now fell in the floor. So the spike will look to be planted over the A site. Clutchy is just looking to really peak this round up on their own shoulders.
planted.
Noz does miss out the shot onto Pumpy. There's a neural theft available from both of these sides right now.
I know
I
exactly.
mean, you got to use it. Momentum Base will use it. There's a first to gather all this information. Heaven's going to be locked on down Travis, so could be on for some great action with the Blade Storm. Is anybody going to be looking over towards this glass location? Everybody jumps down on towards the side in the nick of timing. The Hunter's Furies here as well available. If Spikes pops that cage, Travis is going to be blocked in toward it. The dash comes through, but you can't right click there. Clutchy finds the headshot. Absolutely having a
remaining.
ripper of a round. Clutchy's found 4, even on for the ace. You're going to close out the round like this one right now. But sir, you are indeed Corbin, you madman.
win.
That's 13 for Gravitas. That's map number 1 in their favor.
Yeah, Clutchy turning up for that one, getting the ace to finish the round off. You can see Happy doing some spinners as well at the end. Fantastic work from Gravitas, but we called it. It's 13-4. It felt like a much closer game than a 13-4 scoreline represents, though. Unfortunate for Momentum Base, they just weren't able to get any economy on that defensive side. They weren't able to string together some rounds, but it was pretty obvious stuff. The Gravitas had done a lot of homework, especially onto that B defense. They're constantly finding players out and spraying through smokes, getting tagged. So fantastic work for Gravitas. They've shown some good signs here.
Yeah, Gravitas' retakes going into the B site were well thought out, you know, or their utility just flowing in when they needed to, and everybody was just looking at those positions. If someone died, you know, they backed it up, and it was really looking good. For Momentum Base, you know, they started off quite well in those first 4 rounds that they were able to gather, you know. Didn't really feel a return to come through from Gravitas when we saw that, but then Gravitas kind of wisened up to the factor, and, well, they just kind of steamrolled over it.
Yeah, it was fantastic. Noz played very well on the breach, especially to stay alive late on into the rounds when he was close to